Be like a part 20 of like A Land Before Time.
Part 20. Part 20 of Land Before Time is just the plot of Your Hunter to the Future.
Let's be best friends.
Hello, I'm Cole Sauer, and welcome to Let's Be Best Friends, a podcast where I talk to people that I barely know and try and convince them to be my doomed best friends, because in times like these, who needs enemies? My guest today on the show is the host of Sequels and a part of the oneofus.net podcast network, Shak Lambert.
What's up? Hi.
How are
How's
you
it going?
doing?
I'm good. I mean, the world's on fire and shit is just going nuts, but I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, it's a hard time to run a show where the whole prospect is being upbeat and being friendly.
Ooh, dude. That's the thing. We even in terms of sequels, like recording sequels, we normally do it we try and keep it on schedule, but it's usually just whenever we feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's one point where we're like, hey, we're gonna do this episode next week. And then shit went crazy, and I'm like, I am not in an emotional state to do this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we're gonna talk about Land Before Time, and then the world explodes, and you're like, this doesn't seem right.
We're not doing that right now.
Yeah, the episode that went up, I think that week was the one where we watched Street Sharks, and I was like, I don't think anyone wants to see two white guys talk about Street Sharks. This sucks. Oh, okay. So, obviously, we've known each other a really long time, but I feel like we haven't had a lot of chances to talk. Obviously, we've connected on, we both love video games, we both love weird-ass movies, professional wrestling. Yeah. But we haven't, I feel like we don't know each other super well. So, Larry King always said that the 5 questions to answer in any interview are who, what, where, when, and why. Okay. So I always like to start with that. So, Shak, who are you? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm trying to. The thing is, that's such a small question, but such a loaded question. It's like, yo, where does this get? In the short version, I'm a film writer at Comics Gaming Magazine. I'm a podcaster, as you mentioned in the intro. A nerd, nerdy as fuck. A gamer. So much gaming, and a movie fan. That's the short version. Oh, pretty much, you know what? Let me take all that and just say a person who lives on the internet, literally lives on the internet.
You're the good end of Reddit. That's
yeah. If I'd be one of those people who would still be plugged in the Matrix, at all times.
You'd be one of those dudes. Did you ever see the movie Gamer with?
I have.
You'd be one of the people in that in the simulation game. I haven't watched the movie in so long. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot that. I haven't thought of that movie in over 10 years.
I know, right? Every once in a while, movies like that pop in my brain, and I have no reason why. I don't give a shit about that movie. I don't even remember it being good. I'm pretty sure it sucked, right?
Yeah. The thing is, I just like thinking about those random movies because when I break it down, people are like, oh, Jesus Christ. My favorite thing about sequels is when I talk about it with people and they're just like, my favorite reaction is, oh, dear God, they made a sequel to that? I'm like, yes, they did.
I do that every time I see an ad for your podcast. I'm like, holy shit. Either I know the movie and have seen it, and I'm like, oh, that's awful. Yeah. I gotta listen to that. Or it's like, are you kidding me? They made a sequel to that? Oh, my God. The day you guys make a Highlander 2 episode, I'm there. I'll download that.
I have we have a Google Doc of, a bunch of different movies we could do, and people would just keep taking entries and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd have to put Highlander 2 on there.
You gotta put The Quickening. Oh my God. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Apparently Highlanders are actually from Mars. You gotta watch the director's cut because that's when all the space shit comes. It's so God, it's so good. It's so good. It is. Highlander is my favorite movie of all time, and Highlander 2 is one of the most purely awful cinematic experiences I've ever sat through. It's so bad.
Oh my God.
Okay. So who are you? The good end of Reddit. What do you do? Yes. So you said you're a podcast host, you're a writer. So how did you get into all that kind of stuff? Give me a bit of a timeline.
Okay, so the writer part was originally the goal, where it was when I was 13 or 14, I'm like, I want to write about video games and movies, just talk about the stuff that I like doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just tailored my entire life around that. To where, like, I went to journalism school, even though I dropped out. But I still
journalism.
Yeah, I have nothing against journalism at all. It's just like the industry itself is just very odd and different, and media just in general, just nowadays is, that's a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
But anyway, I ended up getting still like an internship at Comics Gaming Magazine, CGM.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for like a couple months, and it was great. It was really fun. But then I just kind of got burnt out at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
because it was just a lot of stuff that I thought that job would be was a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the adjustment period and just stuff like that, it wasn't great for me, my mental and stuff. So like I just stopped.
Yeah.
But then eventually I still was like talking about movies all the time on Twitter and stuff. So the editor, he messaged me back. He's like, hey, do you want to like come and write for us again? And I was like, you know what? I think I'm in a better place where I can start writing again. And then I started writing again. And then movies stopped coming out.
Yeah, it's so rough because there's so many people who started something cool, especially people like our age, where like we're just starting to get into that like part of our lives where we're getting these big jobs and these opportunities that we've always wanted. And then the world fucking ended, whether it be the Corona stuff or you know all the protests and stuff going on. Like
it's
like,
tough out here. Well, I mean, like there's some couple things that I'm still like planning on reviewing.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of them is coming out tomorrow, so I have to go watch that tomorrow. Like I won't say it just for the timeliness sake.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, just you can look for that when that happens. But yeah, that's on the writing side, that's where that happened. So like I'm still writing over there. Podcasting was a weird thing where it was like I just showed up on like some friends' podcasts and stuff like that, like over the years from like I want to say like 2010-ish.
Wow.
And I just kept guesting on friends' podcasts. Like I never had my own. I was like, I'll just show up whenever they asked me to, and it was just like fun just talking to friends. That's basically how I saw it. And then with sequels specifically, it was my co-host Sarah, like one of my co-hosts, she was doing a Marvel podcast, and she had asked me on for the Avengers episode. And the thing is, that episode, if you listen to it, I'm not there because my audio was so garbage that they fully cut me out the episode.
Oh no!
So, but the thing is that like our chemistry was like, she's like, listen, one, I feel bad about doing that, and two, you're very cool, so we'll bring you back on. So they brought me back on for the Black Panther episode, and that was also with my other co-host Alejandra.
Mm-hmm.
And the three of us had such an amazing back and forth that we're like, we need to do something together. And so a couple months later, we just think of, hey, let's just do like, that's when Sequels was born. And then we've just done it for almost 2 years at this point.
Wow.
Like airing episodes are very sporadic still.
Mm-hmm.
Like normally we did it every 2 weeks,
mm-hmm.
and then we try to do it every week, but now it's just like whenever we can or whenever we feel like it.
Yeah, schedules.
But like, I think, we still have made enough of a following over the years that like we have consistent listenership. It's still small, but it's still very like people are into it, and I'm very happy. Like it's the most proud I've ever been of a project in Sequels.
That's great, because honestly, and I say this I feel like I say this every time we talk. I'm such a shill. I love that show. I think it's such a cool idea for a podcast. If anyone's listening at this moment and they don't give a shit about listening to the rest of the show, I understand. Go listen to Sequels. It's so good. They just review these like weird, shitty direct-to-video sequels of movies. Yeah. And that's all I want.
It's literally, it's just us just riffing for like 30 minutes. We're like are adamant on like we need to keep it short and to the point, because podcasts,
which I also love.
That's the thing. Some podcasts go on for like 3 or 4 different hours, and I'm like, I like those, but like people aren't trying to listen to that all the fucking time.
No.
At least when we keep it to like 30, the most we usually go is like 40, 45 minutes, but never more than an hour.
Yeah.
Those, because they're easily digestible, it's like, okay, we could just jump right back into that, or something easily digestible for like new listeners and stuff.
Yeah. That, I think, so where, normally where comes from a location, but I'm going to switch this up. Where did that idea come from? Where did the idea for Sequels come from?
Honestly, don't even remember. Like, it was just I think we were probably just like elevator pitching. Like I would check the group DM, but that group DM is too long now at this point. That's too far gone. I legitimately don't even know where that came from or who brought it up. But I think it was probably either Sarah or Ali. I feel like that was the case. Like I'm not gonna like pitch you because again I don't want to go like, oh, it was this person, it was wrong. So it just somehow happened in the group DM and they just like, oh hey, yeah, that works.
So just like a random idea,
just anything for the three of us to just like all work together on.
So
like that's the main element. It's not as much the movie as much as just us or just riffing.
Yeah, and that's my favorite part is that like me personally, because I think every podcast idea has been done before, right? Like every idea already exists somewhere. So it all comes down to like if you want to, there's like a billion options if you want to watch a movie podcast or listen to a movie podcast rather. It comes down to like the chemistry and the idea behind it, because I think like there's that one podcast with the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine where they talk about how did this get made, I think is what it's called.
Yes, how did this get made? Yes,
and I think
one of my favorite podcasts.
That's so good. It's such a good podcast because it's just people in the industry who are like charismatic and interesting talking about this really weird aspect of movie making.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
I'm a big fan of that, honestly.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So we kind of covered the when, but when, I guess. So you said you dropped out of journalism. So when did you kind of see the writing on the wall for you, at least, to be like journalism isn't really like the path I want to be on?
The thing is, it's still there. Like the path is still there. It's like not like. I'm trying to find a way to. I think it was probably during my second year, or even just repeat, because I had to redo it because I wasn't prepared for like the massive workload and stuff. But it was as I was going through it, and during journalism, my main thing was again still writing about like entertainment related things, so like video games, film, television, all that stuff. And I think when I was working there, because when I was studying, they're like, oh, we don't really do a focus on that. Like if you write about it, it's like maybe one page in the school paper. Yeah. So there's like, we focus on like politics or like the student issues and stuff like that, which I completely understand and respect. But I also kind of realize at the same time that like, if I'm not interested in it, I can't write for shit. Right. Yeah. So it's not even just like on a basic level, like I can't find a way to make this interesting for myself and in turn make it interesting for the reader.
See, this is why I think we got along originally, because I don't know if you know this, but the broadcasting kids and the journalism kids, blood feud. I don't know if the thing is though, I think it's very one-sided, because I know the broadcasting kids hate the journalism kids. I think the journalism kids don't give a shit about us, and I think that's, they don't. That's what pisses off the most.
When I was in journalism, they were combined. It was like literally. You go to like the first 2 years are regular journalism, and if you want to go into broadcast, that's the additional third year. Yeah, a lot of my friends went on to doing that third year, and I just saw them; they were struggling. There's like this is hell.
That's the thing, is that I remember this blood feud, and I remember it was because we like it was very like preps versus like it was like preps versus emo from high school, because all these little shitty arty kids are all in the broadcasting, and we're all just like trying to make Wayne's World. And then all the journalism kids are like these like, we care about politics and the things that matter.
Trust me, it's not even that they care. Is that they're under constant stress because they have to constantly find interviews and shit. Oh yeah. Like literally, most of the time it's just people trying to get called, like trying to make sure that their interview's gonna happen. Because there's a lot of people who go no. And so when they say yes, like okay, I have something. Yeah.
It's hard. Like I realized it only after I got out of college how hard journalism is.
I respect it and rate it so much, but just it's something that like I just couldn't handle. And podcasting was stuff. Originally, I was like, I will never talk on things because I don't like my voice, like everybody. It's not until like I would do those podcasts and be like, okay, that's cool, but I don't really want to listen to them again. It's not until, funny enough, I was doing, like, I dropped out of journalism, just did, like, a general arts program. And then I had a friend who was doing his own radio show at our college radio station. And he's like, yo, do you want to come on? And I was like, sure, why not? I'll do a one-off where we just talk about video games. And then at the end, we're just like, we'll come back next week and we'll do, like, I think it was, like, a Star Wars episode because Force Awakens is coming out. And then or at least like the trailers or something.
Yeah.
And then we did it, and I just kept coming back. Where I was like, I just ended up being like the unofficial, then official co-host. And then I was like, this is actually legitimately fun doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then years later, like we're talking like maybe like a year or two later, I was in New Orleans, and I was just like in an Uber, just going to like WrestleMania, just going downtown, and the Uber like the Uber lady just completely unprompted was like, you have a radio voice.
Oh.
I was like, what? I didn't even say anything.
Best feeling. That's the best feeling.
At that point, I was like, maybe that's the wave. Maybe that's what I gotta do. And so, like, to this point, like, I don't even hate my own voice anymore. Like, not even like on a conceited level. It's just like, if I listen to my own like, I'll listen back to old sequels episodes and still laugh my ass off, even like as if I heard it for the first time.
I think that's honestly, it's one of the first things they teach you too, is like, you're gonna hate your own voice. Everyone hates the sound of their own voice. Like, it's maybe 0.01% of people like hearing themselves talk.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to get over it, and you got to get to a point where you're making content that you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, it sounds like you're already there, which is huge. That's like the hugest hurdle.
Yeah, honestly, that's the first major hurdle that I think I've crossed so far.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it is just kind of just like, I don't know, maybe just trying to figure out like how far I want to take it, what's the next step or whatnot. Like trying to figure out like if I want to make a career in this,
right?
Like what are the proper steps to take, how to do it, and stuff like that. It's a complicated, like, 'cause podcasting is so much bigger now than when I started.
Oh yeah,
just doing it with other people.
Oh yeah, it's I mean, it's an industry now. Like when we were younger, it was like when I was thinking about going to college, and my dad was like, "Oh, radio."
It was
dead.
a niche thing.
It was a niche thing. I was like, "I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna make a podcast." And then my dad was like, "There's no money in podcasts." And lo and behold, if I had started it then, I'd be Joe Rogan.
Dude, the funny thing is, someone had told me this. Like, I think I either read this or someone told me this, and I was like, "This is the most funniest, accurate thing ever." Is that Let's Make a Podcast is the new generation of Let's Make a Band.
It is. I saw that same thing. I laughed my ass off when I saw that.
I was like, that is the most accurate thing I've ever heard. Because the thing is, it's cheaper than making a band. All you need is just like a good mic, good headset mic or whatever, a computer. And that's it. You just record it, put it out in the ether.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I don't want to talk shit on other people's podcasts because whatever. I've run hundreds of unsuccessful and shitty podcasts, but like, you don't even need talent really. Like to be in a band, you at least need to know how to play guitar. You know what I mean?
Yes.
To do a podcast, you don't even need that. You
just need a good charismatic appeal to yourself.
Yeah. You need a hook, and that's it. And like that's like anyone.
Yeah, whether it's the gimmick itself or the personality, that's kind of what's like really the root of like having a good podcast.
So for why, I always put, why do you do the thing that you do? And I do that because it's a very like big nebulous thing. So I kind of want to zone in on. So you said from like a young age you wanted to write about comics and movies and the things that you love, which I think is every nerd's dream. And now that you're doing it, what is it that like keeps you going? Like, what is it about the writing and I guess podcasting now that makes you think like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Well, what is like, I have no other skills and other things. Like, skills in making this stuff, I don't have that. I like, but the thing is, because my enthusiasm is always just, things change all the time.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm talking about things that I enjoy doing and enjoy like talking about or whatever, because that nature is constantly moving forward and changing, I never really run out of things to ever talk about. Even if I like, not even looking at the future, but in the past, like say like older films or older video games and stuff like that, whether it's like a hidden gem that I've never heard of or something that I'm like, okay, people kind of thought about this in one way. What about thinking about this in another way? Or even just like nostalgia. Like I hate nostalgia nowadays because it's because of how monetized and how much it can corrupt shit. But at the same time, I think it's always fun to still look at it on a certain level, where it's like, okay, let's look back at this strange time, and now that we're out of this time, look at how absurd this shit was. Because like, even if you look at like the PS2, PS like GameCube, Xbox era, I know nowadays games are more consistent in like their level design and just like, okay, we're just taking this, this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
So we're essentially getting like the same 5 games over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And during that last like 2 generations ago, when people were still trying to feel themselves out, but it was still early in 3D gaming, that we're still just like throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. And so you get like a lot of games that people don't think about. It's like, oh, right, that was a weird thing. Like early voice control games, they're like, oh, wow, that was... Like there was a game called Lifeline for PS2.
Okay.
That was like entirely like voice controlled through like through a headset. Keep in mind, this is PS2 technology. Yep. So that shit was wild and accurate. Did not work.
Do you remember, speaking of PS2 stuff that didn't work, do you remember the PS2 camera, the eye toy? The eye toy?
The funny thing was, I remember I was in Paris like visiting cousins and stuff. And we would go to like a toy store, and the iToy hadn't even been in America yet. I think they had it maybe like a year or 2 before. And so when I see this thing, I'm like, yo, this is going to be the coolest thing ever. What the hell? And so by the time it comes to America, I'm like, oh, right, that thing. And then I tried it. I was like, oh, wait a minute. No, this kind of sucks. Like, there's not that many good games with it.
Yeah, well, I remember because I never had it, but I had a friend who had it. And I remember on PS3, do you remember a game called Eye of Judgment? It was like a card game that came out. It was a card game with the camera. And I was like, why don't you just play an actual card game at that point? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, like, I get it if you want to do, like, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game with, like, your actual cards.
Yeah.
But Eye of Judgment was, like, nondescript monsters because they couldn't get the rights for others.
Exactly. Like, it was like playing, like, fucking Duel Monsters or some, like offhand Yu-Gi-Oh! Clone.
Yeah.
With this shitty PlayStation camera.
But yeah, just like the thing is, it's just like the reason I like doing the things, like the reason I like talking about the stuff I like talking about is that there's just an endless source of material.
Of course.
That's really the gist of it, where like it's just fun talking about stuff that you like and dislike. Like you do that regularly on regular conversations.
Yeah.
Like the best thing to do with podcasting is find a way to make that interesting for people who don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, like, at least I think with sequels, we found a good way to do it. Even on like the One of Us.net podcast, I think we have a good enough way to do it also.
Right. So for you, I guess to summarize it,
it's just because I like it, just because I like doing it.
Yeah, it's just you like doing it, and so would you say it's for you? It's more of like a getting the information out in a kind of cool, interesting way, or do you think it's more about giving that perspective that someone might not have?
I want to say it's more towards the former for me, like the first one, where it's just like you can read all the press releases and all the shit you want, and it would be like, okay, that's kind of glanced over. If you do it in like a fun way that's like either funny or interesting or exciting, that like you could, like with me with podcasting is like I can project my excitement about a thing. It can easily come across way better than if I write it. I still like writing and I still think it comes off well, but for me vocally, if you hear it, then you'll be like, okay, I get an idea of like what he like, how excited he is about it, or how apathetic he is about it, or how angry he is about it.
Right.
Like, yeah. And plus, at least personally speaking, there's like 40,000 white guys who do it. You might as well see a black dude do it.
Yup. I feel bad, right? Because like I like podcasting, hosting. I like just doing shit, right? You know me. I just like creating stuff.
Yes.
But like it's hard for me because I feel bad. Like it's like, oh yeah, we have another cis white dude doing a show. Like
you don't fall on that. Like thing is, you have your own lane. You need to fit. Like I'm pretty sure you've already figured that out. And once you tap into that lane, you're good.
Yeah.
I promise you, don't do the white guilt thing. Listen, we have enough right now with people who are kind of confronting their own privilege and just going like, man, I'm sorry, but like a lot of it is genuine. No, but like it's the celebrity ones. Those are the ones I'm like, bro, don't Don't do that.
Oh my
Just
God.
donate money and keep pushing.
Literally, it's just like post your donation receipt. Shut the fuck up. Did you hear about Mark Wahlberg?
Don't sing Imagine. Don't do that.
Oh my God.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Dude, did you hear about Mark Wahlberg?
I did.
Oh
He was
my
like,
God.
you put an empty platoon and like, bruh, you have your own shit.
Yeah, it was like of all the people to not say anything right now and like just post a donation and shut the fuck up, it's Mark Wahlberg. Like,
Yep.
dude has a literal section on Wikipedia on all the racist shit he did.
Dude, it's so
Donate your money and move on. Okay, so we've covered our 5 pillars. We've already had a lot of fun. I want to get into what we're doing today. We're playing Call of Duty Warzone.
Yep.
Explain to me why this was your choice, because I always try and make it something that the guest wants to do. Tell me about it.
Okay, so this, honestly, I never thought this would happen, because if you know me over the years, Call of Duty was like the bane of franchise to me. Where it's like, I get like it's very successful and I understand why, but I was just like, I did not want any part of it. I was just so tired of it. Since I was like 14 or 15, I was like, I don't want to play this stupid game. And so when my friends are like, yo, you need to play Warzone, especially because I don't like Battle Royale games either.
Yeah.
Like, I hate Fortnite. Apex Legends, I was like, I'm fine with, but just it wasn't my thing. And so when they got me to play Warzone, I was like, fine, I'll play this mode I hate in a series I hate. And then I played it and I was like, you know what? God damn it, this game is actually really good. And to the point where I ended up buying like the full Modern Warfare game, and I was like, I'm angry that this is really good.
I think a part of it I feel like comes back to nostalgia, right? Because there was that period, I think like 2010-ish, where everyone played Call of Duty. Adults, kids, boys, girls, like everyone was playing Call of Duty, zombies, whatever, right?
Yes, and the thing is there was the big, like, I'm not a subscriber to console wars, but certain franchise wars, that one got to me. So it was like Call of Duty versus Battlefield.
Yes.
And I was Battlefield the entire way through.
Okay.
So I was like, so Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, all that stuff. I was like, I don't even want to look at Call of Duty, because this is the game, because it's got vehicles. You could blow buildings up, like take them down to pieces, like entire skyscrapers and shit. So that appealed to me way more than like Call of Duty did.
That was the thing I remember, because I had no horse in the game. Like we were talking about, I played zombies. Zombies was cool, so I was kind of on the Call of Duty side. But then I stopped playing shooters, really, because like I stopped having friends who played shooters. But I remember playing Bad Company 2, and the first time that there was like, we drove a car into a building and it like collapsed, I was like, this is the greatest game of all time.
Exactly.
That
was
sick.
it. Like Call of Duty was like, all right, this is cool. But then when I played Bad Company 2, I was like, man, this changed my life.
This changes the entire game, man.
Yeah. And so like I haven't even really cared much about like the recent Battlefields, because I prefer like a modern setting, because they've gone to World War I and World War II. And like those have never been super my thing. So with them going back to Modern Warfare, I was like, okay, yeah, sure, like whatever, I won't even touch it. Right. And so again, not until I started playing it, I was like, man, I get it now. I think the key to it is it's a lightning fast thing.
It's the same thing as anything else, right? Like if you get a bunch of homies who are into a game, it doesn't matter really what the game is. It's just fun because you're playing with your homies, right?
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
Even if you die 100,000 times, who cares?
Exactly.
Okay, I think we're ready to go. If you want to queue up, are we doing duos or are we just doing the full map?
We're doing duos.
Thank God.
Because I'm not. Listen, whenever I play, I only play with friends. Like, say we're like 3 people and they only have like BR quads, we're just not gonna fill. We're like, we'll deal with the handicap. We probably won't win anyway.
Yeah, I gotta warn you in advance. I'm so bad at shooting games, specifically Call of Duty.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever been good at a Call of Duty game was when I was really young, and there was the so I hadn't played a Call of Duty game in like 5 years, and then I went on a date with a guy, and we went to this video game like bar thing where you like rent a table and they have a console, and there was a PlayStation.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah.
So much fun. Best date of all time. They had a PlayStation, and they had Advanced Warfare, the one that has the jetpacks.
Yes. I think that's the one.
And I'd never played it, but dude, I mopped the fucking floor with him, and I felt bad because he thought I sharked him, and I was like, no, I'm like zipping around, sliding and shit.
I should also mention that one of the reasons I picked this is because I know for sure that it's cross-platform. Like PlayStation, PS4, Xbox, PC, all of them can play in the same game, and because you're on PC, I'm on Xbox. Like, hey, there's something we can play together, and you're already down. Oh, right, it's just like the test here, not even test, but just like the waiting area where people just shoot each other.
Okay, so it's Battle Royale, right? It's like Fortnite. We start with like...
It is essentially like Fortnite. None of that building shit required.
Tight. You're speaking my language. Okay, let me just check my sound stuff. Oh yeah, we're good. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Enemy soldier incoming.
And yes, it's 150 players.
Oh, can no one die when we're in like chill mode?
Oh no, we can. Like...
Oh, does everyone just have a billion? Oh shit, okay, that guy just died straight up.
Yeah, no, this is just like you just kill each other, and you get XP for killing each other during the play.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So like, yeah, you just run around. People just run around and just get random kills.
Just ganking each other.
But yeah, the thing is here in this game, like in Warzone.
Yeah.
So it is just like Battle Royale rules, where it's like all you have is a pistol on you, and you just find better weapons, and try and just last the longest, stay in the zone before the fucking gas comes and kills you. But here's the thing. Whenever you die, when you die the first time, you get sent to a place called the Gulag.
Oh, is that where the fucking Gulag memes come from?
Yes.
Oh,
okay, also,
my God.
I pinged, let's see, just get out, just jump out now,
Okay, okay.
Go to where I put the blue thing, the blue marker.
On it.
Okay, so yeah, the Gulag is essentially, it's a prison, and what happens is that you are essentially waiting to get your chance to come back, where you end up in a one-on-one fight with someone else with a random weapon. Whoever lives, like whoever wins that fight, gets sent back into the game.
Okay, cool. Okay, that makes sense.
And if you lose, then you're pretty much out of the game. If you have a teammate, they can come and revive you. Like, they have to get enough money to revive you. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Although in this new update that's come out since like today, actually,
okay,
they added like new in-game events, and one of the in-game events is the possibility of everybody who is either dead or in the Gulag could come back at once.
Okay. That's
so like
nuts. I like it.
There's a chance you might there's just a chance you might spectate. There's a chance you might just like jump out and just go to the next game. There's nothing here, so let's just keep moving towards the stadium.
All right, cool. I'm following you. This is cool. Big ass stadium.
Yeah. Oh, dude, this is a whole massive city, and there's so many things.
That's sick.
It's
like Rust on steroids.
Pretty much.
This is how you know I'm a boomer when it comes to this shit. Like,
although Rust is a level you could play in this new Modern Warfare, it's a level you could play like in the multiplayer.
Sick. Okay, wait, where did you go? I'm lost. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, follow me. I'll take out.
Okay.
I got movement.
Got movement. All right.
Oh yeah, no, double tap. Here's okay. I found it.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes.
Okay. How do I? There we go.
Okay, I found this gun. I haven't found it. Let's just keep moving. I got you.
Cool. Okay.
See if I could hopefully find some good weapons out here.
So while we're trying not to die, we're in a fucking combat situation.
Yes. Oh, here. Okay,
this
is good. Oh no, it's a buy station shit. I don't need that.
Do I have any money?
Don't have
any
enough
money. Shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I did the tutorial, so I have like a vague idea of what we're doing here.
Okay, good.
I'm trying to find a gun. Here we go.
Oh, here you go. Now go ahead. Just go. Yeah.
Take that. This is the thing.
Open the box.
Bang. Ooh, hell yeah.
I need that one instead.
Yeah, you take that.
Yeah, that's a better gun.
All right. So, here on the show, we do all of our questions based on common conversation starters we find on the internet and questions sent to us by social media, which you can do by tweeting or DMing me at OldKingCake on Twitter and Instagram, or putting it in the YouTube comments below. Do we take a bounty? Should we take that?
You don't need to. Like, it gives us more money, but like that whole thing is optional. Also, I recommend you take this.
This is armor, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah. And put that on.
Yeah.
You're gonna need it.
Click 4. All right. So our first question. This is from ConversationStartersWorld.com, aka our unofficial sponsor.
Okay.
And it is, what were you really into when you were a kid that you're not into anymore?
Cars.
Cars. Okay.
Like literally, dude, you have no idea how obsessed I was with cars as a kid. Like, oh, hold on, you got the weapon I put. You got the weapon I had before. Like literally, my mom told me my first word was Ford. Like as in like the Ford fucking boat. Yeah. Like, dude, my favorite thing as a kid was reading like Auto Trader and just like looking at all the cars and learning like the brands and the model. Dude, like my E3 as a kid was going to the auto show every year. Like it was crazy, dude. Like and like Hot Wheels was like I wanted nothing but Hot Wheels every year. Like I had literal hundreds of toy cars.
Okay. So that's interesting.
Like it was crazy.
So what happened?
Honestly, I just got more into other things. Like
so you were a jock before you became a nerd.
Not even a jock. I was just like a gear. Like I was a gearhead, and then like movies became more of a priority for me. Like thing is, video games were the most constant thing. Like that's where my love for racing games stems from. Okay, it's still from that.
That makes sense. Okay.
Also, yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I'm being hunted apparently.
Oh yeah, the thing is, someone has a bounty on you, but like. There's not that many people who actually actively go and take it, and also you see the red pings on the map. There's people nearby.
Okay.
Just be careful.
Okay.
But yeah, movies just kind of took over, like from like when I was like 7 or 8. Like the transition point, honestly, was the Fast and the Furious, like the first one.
Really?
Like I would see commercials for it. I'm like, that is like I would see that scene. When they're having like the big race,
yeah,
and Vin Diesel flips the car off the truck. Also, they're getting super close. I don't like that. But I saw that and I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And it just kind of spun off from there. Like, I would watch a lot of movies that like my dad would show me, like Terminator 2 and The Matrix, and that was the stuff that kind of birthed the love of movies. It really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh shoot!
There's dudes to our left.
Yeah. Don't go. The thing is, with this, don't take any unnecessary contact.
Oh shit, I'm getting shot.
Yo, get in here. Where are you?
I'm coming.
Where they? Stay, yeah. Get in here. Stay in here.
We're good. We're good. Can you reload?
Upstairs.
Upstairs?
Check the. Yeah, let's check upstairs. Oh yeah, they're close. I can see where they are.
Dude, we're getting. This is like the fucking raid,
Hold on.
dude.
Jesus Christ, I can see. Oh, I think I can see where they are. Got him down. Oh, I'm still shooting. Okay. Yo, okay. Watch it, because his partner's still there, and he just hit me once.
Yep. Oh shit! Oh god!
Damn it! Oh, damn it! I saw where he was.
Oh, he was on the stairs. I thought he was in the window.
No, he was in the stairs.
I was going towards the stair like an asshole.
Okay. Gee.
Oh my god. So that makes sense, because I knew you were a big Fast and the Furious guy, which I know is kind of counter to like the movie community at large.
Oh, dude, the thing is, you underestimate. Like, there's actually a pretty size. Like, Fast and Furious is consistently one of the biggest money makers of the year.
Oh yeah.
It's just the franchises, and like there is a big fan base for it. Also, I just won the Gulag. Sweet.
Oh. Yeah.
So now I just gotta save some money, try and get enough money to bring you back. If you don't already win in the Gulag.
Okay. Yeah, I got this. It's just a 1v1? I got this.
Yeah, it's a 1v1. But yeah, dude, like,
oh, there he is.
There's a lot of like,
oh, you fucking flank my ass.
Oh, there's a lot of movie buff people that I talk to, and like, there's such a genuine, unironic love for Fast and Furious. Like, it is ridiculous, but because the fact that it embraces so much the ridiculousness of what it already is, that people are just like, yeah, listen, I'm about it. I'm about all of this.
I feel like there was a big resurgence in like kind of the love for Fast and Furious. And maybe you can tell me more about it, because I feel like, I I feel like
100%.
it was the butt of jokes, right, for a long time, and then it was like Fast 5 when The Rock started coming in, and like
That's exactly it, basically. So the thing is with Fast and Furious is that those first couple movies are tuned to a very specific culture.
Yeah.
Like import car culture was huge in the early 2000s with like Need for Speed Underground and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Like that was all in the wake of Fast and Furious because it brought like attention to that.
Right.
And then obviously that stuff would have a pretty limited shelf life. And so people were like, oh, they're still making these fucking movies. So when Fast 5 came out and The Rock showed up, because again, The Rock was the biggest thing in the world.
Oh yeah.
He single-handedly like rejuvenated the franchise to the point where they're just like, listen, we can't be just about damn it, also I'm about to die. Fuck. Yeah, I'm dead. So yeah, we're out of this. 40 seconds.
Hey, 42nd out of how many? Though, like 200?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty good.
It's not bad. Not bad for also like your first round.
And I did 23 damage. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave game party. But pretty much when that came on, and they're just like, we're not going to be strictly about racing.
Mhm.
We're just full-on action movies that we just use cars in creative or ridiculous ways.
Yeah, it became more about using them like set pieces.
Pretty much. And I know there's a lot of people who are still angry, but like, oh, it should be about the races. If it was still about the races, the franchise would have died about a decade ago.
For sure. I think it was smart. Like you said, they brought in The Rock. They made it more like an action movie.
Yeah.
To get that. So who do you think's... That's an interesting question, actually. Who do you think's the fan base, the target fan base now? Do you think it's still that like kind of bro gearhead culture?
No, honestly not. It's more like...
more towards the normal person or the
really,
film buff?
The main thing is just like the internet. Like people underestimate this because the reason it ends up on like so many top 10 lists every year is because it's a huge international success.
Right.
Like overseas, this shit is like one of the biggest things ever. And I think that's because of just like, it's weird that like out of all the major franchise that you think of just like the blockbuster, like multi-million-dollar franchises, the Fast and Furious is like the only one that has like a legitimately diverse cast.
That is true.
Of just like multiracial, multi-gender, like they're all from different ethnicities and backgrounds and stuff like that, and they're very like inclusive in that sense because they go around the world so much. When you look at like say the MCU is like 80 white dudes, Harry Potter.
I was gonna just try and nosedive and see what happens.
Oh, I mean you can. So like even like Harry Potter, all white people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
So,
mean,
like-
isn't that like one of the famous things that the only Asian person in Harry Potter was like?
His name Cho. Like
Yeah.
that's the most racist sounding shit. But with like because Fast and Furious, because they're so like diverse internationally, I think that is like a big contributor in why it's so just massive.
Yeah.
And also the consistency of just like as ridiculous as the whole like family thing is, it's a universal theme that is relatable in
Yeah.
spite of all the absurdity.
It is.
So,
So
like,
it's a very simple. It's like a simple thing, right? Like you say, everyone can relate to the whole idea of family, right?
It's simple but very effective.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't like by expanding who they're going for, it's expanded like their reach and like the success of it.
Okay. Very, very. I think that's actually a really cool insight, honestly, because I feel like there, even now, I think there's like this stigma, right? Of oh, it's Fast and Furious. You know, who gives a shit?
I mean, the franchise is super, super long. I think it should end within like the next 2 movies or so, but it's still just like that genuine enthusiasm for it. We'll go for the TV station.
TV station, which is
Yeah, so jump
is that
out.
right below
Yeah, I
us?
just jumped out. Yeah, right below us.
All right, tight. Are those red lines other people jumping into the same spot as us?
Yes, those are just other people.
Tight.
So just yeah, as soon as you get down, just sprint, find the quickest weapon that you can.
All right, cool. I'm heading for the
Because-
roof. I like the roof.
Yeah, I'm on the roof right now. I just jumped in.
Tight.
Yeah, let's see. What else is there? What else is there? Got an armor. I'll give you. Yeah, I have an extra armor. I'll give it to you once I see you if you don't already have one.
All right, I got some ammo. Oh, I got a gun. Oh,
Right, cool.
I fell through the roof. Never mind. Here's
No
another
worries.
gun. Tight.
Yep.
Carbine. Sick. Easy clap.
All right, good. Let's see what else. Is there
Okay,
anything?
okay. It's game 2. My goal, I'm going to be honest with you. Oh my god, there's someone behind us. Someone behind us.
Shit, where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
I'm in the green screen room.
Hey, LB is to ping someone. Or no, oh yeah, you're not on X. You're not
Yeah,
on Xbox.
mine's
Like,
left alt. It's
yeah,
cool.
the
I'm going to
ping
put this
button.
armor on real
Oh
fast.
yeah, shit. I see somebody. I see somebody.
I'm
Okay.
putting armor on. I'm mounting up.
Yeah. Okay. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful.
I'm behind you. I'm watching our areas. Watching our flanks.
Yep. Thank you.
I don't see anyone outside.
Yeah. Just trying to be. I'm trying to stay focused. I'm like leaning in, and that's not great for the camera.
I'm in full gamer mode, man. Ooh.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, you take what you want. I'll just take.
Oh,
whatever you don't
I'll take that LMG.
want. All right, tight.
That one's better.
I'll take. What's this thing? How can I? There we go. I want the green thing. Ooh, a rifle. Rifle seems chill.
Okay. Oh shit, they're here.
Yep.
Got one. Got one. Got him.
See anyone?
Okay, he's
I don't
out.
See anyone?
Cover me because he probably has a partner.
Okay. I didn't see anyone behind us. So I was just looking out the window or out the door.
Yeah. Just be very, very careful.
Fax machine. We're chill.
Molotov. Got a birthday. You know, I'll take that birthday art instead. That one's better. There should be let's see. I don't think there's an ammo dump here. There should be.
Ooh.
Oh shit! Someone's here. Someone's here. Get out of there! Get out of there! Get out of there!
Oh, did you go down? Oh no,
No, I see him. Fuck!
Yeah, he's right there. Oh,
Damn it! Got it! Damn!
Did you get him? Fuck yeah!
No, I didn't. It was 2-on-1. I couldn't get him.
Yeah, I saw him in the hallway. I was trying to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Okay, so we're both here. Okay, you're here.
So,
We can also help each other and say like, oh, who's over there? Because you can spectate or I can spectate yours depending on whoever goes in first.
so is this the guy we're trying to fight?
No, it's like this. People just kind of fuck around and just punch each other or throw a rock. It doesn't do anything.
Okay, I'm in. I got this.
Okay, so you're in. Hold on, I got you.
I'm
He's
playing
running
careful.
to your right, on your to your right hand side.
Yep.
And
I see him.
behind the pillar, yeah. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Be careful. He's coming in your left side.
Left side. Okay.
Yep.
He
Damn.
crouched. What a loser.
Yeah. Okay.
Crouches.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
dead.
yeah, that is yeah, it's a legitimate strategy.
Okay. He's on your right.
Yep. I see him.
Oh, you
Got him.
crouched. You got him.
Dude, I
Easy.
slid in.
Easy. Okay, I'm dead. I can
Yes,
go back to
sir.
hosting. Thank God. Thank God.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Cool.
We know I'll
Cool.
try and find a spot to not get killed.
Our next question.
Yes.
This one is from gifts.com.
Okay.
What's the best compliment you've ever received?
That is, I don't even know like what would be the best compliment. I think people like the ones that are just like, I enjoy your company. Those are the ones because
Okay.
I'm always just generally like no matter where I am, like I could be friendly and stuff, but I'm always anxious like, oh, do they actually like me?
Mhm.
Or like am I just not annoying them and they're just being nice about it?
Mhm.
So like anybody who says like they enjoy my company, that's the ones that I'm like, I take the most to heart.
Okay. I like that because I was talking about this the other day with my roommate that there's a thing in with men I find specifically where they just like don't take compliments.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I feel like it's very mental, and I feel like it's very like, even if, because I don't think there's any despairing between how many compliments men get as opposed to women or whoever, right?
Yeah.
But they just
But
don't take
like,
them.
I think it's just more like maybe it's a societal thing of just like alpha male bullshit
Okay.
that like people are just like, oh well, at least with guys it's like, oh, we got to be like the guy. But I think in recent years that's become more like less a thing. Like I think guys now are more willing to like go like, yo, man, you doing good. Like just checking on each other emotionally, as opposed to just like, oh yeah, like he'll tough it out.
Okay, we're back. Little technical difficulties, but everything's chill. We're back with Shaq. Ooh, steal that. Use that somewhere. That's so good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna head right into our lightning round. We played 2 rounds of Call of Duty. I did exactly as well as I thought I did, which is to say, awfully. But you got some kills. I think if I'm watching this, I'm impressed. So we're gonna do our social media question. If anyone wants to put in their question for social media, all you gotta do, comment in the YouTube video comments right below, or tweet at me, Instagram, whatever you feel comfortable with, at OldKingCake. And we love getting questions on social media. I try and feature at least one every episode. So today's question is weird. It's, if you could ride any dinosaur into the future, which would you choose and why?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll probably say it's a weird question. Probably a triceratops.
Okay.
Because like I think that it seems like the most suitable for just like a riding, like not maneuver, like just like it's a good one to ride, and also like it's a good defense mechanism. Where it's like it's got the horns and everything, so you just use it as a fucking battering ram. Yo,
done. It's done. That's
done.
It.
Nobody will fuck with you no more.
I see. So I picked this because I was like, in my head immediately, this sounds like the plot of like a shitty VHS movie.
It does.
So I was like, this is perfect. And I knew you'd have an answer right off the top of your head.
It'll probably be like a part 20 of like A Land Before Time.
Part 20. Part 20 of Land Before Time is just the plot of your Hunter to the Future.
Yes. So what was the question that you could ask?
No, that was all I had. Again, my favorite questions to ask are the weird ones, because those are the ones I feel like people will always have the most impassioned arguments for. Because you can ask anyone like, oh, what's your favorite vacation spot? But something like this, it's like you got your Triceratops, you have reasoning, like the movie writes itself.
Yes.
So we've had a lot of fun here. We're going into the end state of our conversation here. We call this section the lightning round. The way the lightning round works is I'm gonna put 1 minute on the clock. I'm gonna ask you as many this or that, yes or no questions as possible.
Gotcha. I'll just, and I gotta answer as quick as possible. I got you.
Exactly. You're a professional. You're a professional podcaster. I don't even have to explain it to you anymore. So if you're ready to go, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
In 3, 2, let me get there we go. In 3, 2, 1, cookies or cake?
Cake.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Computer games or console games?
Console, all day.
Pop music or rock music?
Rock.
Stuffed animals or dolls?
Stuffed animals. Dolls are creepy.
Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Hot chocolate or coffee?
Neither. I don't like chocolate.
Boom. N-A. Morning or evening?
Evening.
Text message or call?
Text message. Don't call me unless you have a reason.
Libraries or museums?
Libraries. Books all day.
French or Spanish?
French. I know French.
Nice. Summer or winter?
Summer. I can't stand cold. I can't stand the winter.
Theater or cinema?
Cinema.
Love or money?
Well, that's a loaded question. Love. Fuck it.
Just burning the clock. Coke or Pepsi?
Neither. They both suck.
Whoa.
I'm not a pop person. Move on.
We're out of time.
Damn it.
Let's be more. Let's
okay. Listen, I'm not a soda or pop, like whatever you say. I'm not a pop person. Like the most I drink is probably just like a 7-Up.
But if you were
7-Up or Sprite. But like in terms of just like Coke and Pepsi, I don't subscribe to. They might as well be the same thing to me.
Oh my god. See, so the point of the lightning round is to figure out if we have figured out if we could be best friends. I think we just wrapped it. That's it.
No more. Friendship is dead.
Friendship is dead. We're never talking again. Okay, I'm gonna tabulate our answers here.
Okay.
While I do that, tell me about. We've talked a lot about sequels, so tell me about oneofus.net.
Okay, so oneofus.net, it's podcast network. There's a lot of really cool shows on it. I joined on because like I was mainly like a fan of like because the guy who created Chris Cox, he used to be on this movie review network called Spill, and I was obsessed with Spill like back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was going on from like I think like 2008 to like 2013, and then when that shut down, he made his own independent site.
Oh.
And so like that shit like the oneofus.net network. There's a lot of different shows for a lot of different types of like stuff revolving around entertainment, sometimes even sports. So like the ones that I'm on are the Screener Squad, which is like reviews of like not mainstream films. It's just like either like the lower like video on demand or lower profile releases, like something you won't catch in theaters.
Okay.
Like for the most part. There's Eye on the Prize, which is like our award season podcast. So like stuff about the Oscars, the Golden Globes. So when award season is coming up, we're there like every week looking at like the smaller tier, like the smaller awards to see what are the films that are going to be like the ones heading up to the Oscars, like the big heavy hitters. We used to have a show called Their Final Watch Begins, which we covered the last season of Game of Thrones, which that was a whole thing. We have a lot of shows that are similar to that, like The Last Days of Gotham, where you just like look at like the final seasons of TV shows.
That's cool. I like that a lot. So you just focus on the final season.
Like the final, like it just happened to be that way. So yeah, we did it with Gotham. We did it with Game of Thrones. I'm not sure if we've done it with another show yet, but like those happen. We have was it Highly Suspect reviews? Those are like the main review seasons for like theatrical releases and stuff like that. And we have like a massive rotating cast of just like really, really funny, really cool people. We've also done like a lot more live streams lately because everyone's in quarantine and stuff. So we have like live from the end of the world. So Chris brings on like rotating cast of guests and just talk about like stuff, pretty much apocalypse appropriate shit.
Cool. Really quickly.
Yes.
Was last season of Gotham any good?
I haven't watched it, so I wasn't on that season. I don't watch Gotham.
Damn it.
I watched like the first 2 episodes and that was it.
I watched the first season and I really liked it, and then I never watched the rest of it because I'm a season 1 kind of guy. I watched the first season of shows.
Season. You're like an anime person. Like after the first 20-something episodes, I'll watch that shit no more.
That's it. Because you know what? So it's the reason that I'm like this is because of Westworld. I loved the first season of Westworld, and it ended, and I was like, I don't want another 2 seasons. And then,
you're like, I'm good?
Because I don't know if you've watched the first season of Westworld.
I haven't. I watched a minute of Westworld.
It ends on like a cliffhanger, but one of those like sci-fi cliffhangers where if they never made another episode, it would have been a perfect ending.
It would have been like solidified.
It was nice and ambiguous and cool, and you thought about it and talked about it and all that kind of shit. And then season 2 got announced, and I was like, I don't want to watch it, but I guess I have to. And then I realized that I don't.
The funny thing is, the funny thing right now is I'm going through all of Futurama. And the thing is, Futurama's ended like 4 different times. And the thing is, each and every single one of those endings, like we look at like shows that like end terribly, like Game of Thrones, where like they just botch the ending. Futurama ended 4 or 5 times, and all of their endings are good.
Yeah, they wrapped it up. They wrapped it up well every time.
Because the thing is it was in those times where they didn't know if they were going to get another season or not.
Yeah.
So like, if we're going to end it now, let's just have this. But it's still open to like if we did another one. But like, all of them are just very sweet and poignant. I
think it helps too that like when I say I'm a 1 season kind of guy, it's with like the super plot heavy shows. Like, I think it helps
episodic
too.
Shit.
Yeah. I think it helps too for Futurama because it's like The Simpsons, right? Like theoretically, it could go on forever.
It really could.
You know what I mean? We've tabulated the score of the lightning round.
Yes.
You have scored a grand total of 8 out of 15 points, which is a passing grade.
Hell yeah!
C's get degrees. I think that we've proven here the premise of the show still stands. Shaq, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Tell the people out there where they can find you, what you're doing. What do you got?
Alrighty, you can find me on all the social medias as Shak Excellence, SHAK Excellence on Twitter, Instagram, literally anywhere that like you could find like people. I'm there.
Perfect.
Sequels is SEEQUELS. There's an extra E at the beginning.
Important.
You can find that anywhere podcasts are found. Oneofus.net is a whole website, so find that there. I want to take the time to like promote a quick thing that my friend is doing, a really cool resource, like a really cool site to like look for resources with everything that's going on with the protests and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So search for blm.makeroom.me and you can find a good accessible database for everything from petitions to like documents to like just educate yourself on what's going on in the history of why this shit is happening in the first place. And just nice, like really cool places to donate and just help contribute to like the cause and just, just put some good out in the world and just help with this shit that's going on so we can just stop this shit from happening.
I think that is amazing. All the links will be in the description below for sure, because obviously I want to support that as much as I can. Shak, thank you so much, my new best friend, for being here on the podcast. I also want to thank everyone out there in the podcast world, my best friends, for listening or watching, however you get your podcast. We go up on YouTube and SoundCloud again. If you want to get your questions or opinions on the podcast read aloud here on the show, comment section down below, tweet, Instagram. I'm on every social media at OldKingCake. I stream at OldKingCake. I take questions from chat. All kinds of good stuff like this.
We're gonna have to stream together at some point with this.
I'm so down. It's
gonna be cross-platform, but we're gonna do it. We need to do it.
I'm always down for that shit, baby.
Yeah.
Also, I want to give a quick special shout out to Isabel Wing for the intro to our podcast, Let's Be Best Friends, and Seth Feldman for the outro. That's all the time we have for this week. And remember, your mom was your best friend at one point, so give her a call, and we'll see you next week.